Hello, Fast Tippy here. I am playing 7 tonight against Kaya 1794. He's playing Riflam. This should be a fun game. I'm actually going to focus tonight on force, using my force gauge effectively. It's one of my quests actually to spend force. So I'm going to aggressively gain force and use that force as my advantage to defeat my opponent. So, saying that, first thing what we are going to do is to, well, saying all that, I think I'm going to actually, I'll put remote grasp, because he's going to go slow instead of going in the first turn anyway. And then we'll do switch strike. And then we'll do with healing. Alright. So, gaining force. So, 7 is unique that she has a style called detached, which cancels on hit and on damage effects and gains you force. Riflam has a ton of on hit effects. Just a ton. And if he does install, he's got even more. So you can use detach to gain force advantage on your opponent, which is going to be my basic game plan here. To enhance that plan, we want to keep detached around as much as we can. And I've played, well, so you want to do detached dodge. I've played Kaya 1784 in the past. And detached dodge often gets clashed on the first beat because of his choice. Whatever. So we're going to do detached dodge as much as we can. If I get hit, I'll lose my detached at level 1, so I won't be able to continue to use it. But at this point, we're going to use detached dodge basically as much as we can to gain additional force. This additional force up here in the force gauge can be used for additional power, additional priority, or additional stun guard. Your force is also used to play your finisher. Once your force is equal to or higher than your life, you can spend your life total's amount of force to get your finisher. So if you're 10 life and you have 10 force, you can play your finisher. If you have 10 force and you're 2 life, you only have to spend 2 force to play your finisher. Once your life drops below 7, or is 7 or below, you actually are gaining 2 force a turn instead of 1. So yeah. Anti power. I assume my opponent is going install here. I know my opponent really likes install. Transformative install is probably what he's going to do if he's anti power. If he's not doing install, yeah, I'm fine here. I'm not going to anti force. I'm dodging. It's fine. Generally, when I play 7, I play somewhat of a deadbeat or null beat character. That means that I'm basically trying to avoid combat 2 out of 3 beats. We will be dodging, we will be absorbing, and basically causing null beats to occur as much as I can. I will be bursting here. Hopefully my opponent can't clash my burst. If he plays a burst of his own, he will clash me. No. Perfect. So, I will, actually he has 1 to 2 range. Oh, but he only hits for 2 because Transformative gave his other attack additional power. So he actually gave additional power to Strike. So Strike is, what, like 5 power? Holy cow, his Strike is strong. 6 power? 6 power Strike? Yikes. Yeah, so he'll drive and hit me with 2, which is too bad because the real goal here was to prevent my detach from getting leveled up with the dodge. But I got clashed on beat 1, so my detach stayed leveled up. So that's okay. I'll still be aiming to get force ahead by using switch a lot, and yeah, that will be my general plan, is to continue to get that force advantage on my opponent. But yeah, generally speaking, 7 is a deadbeat character. What this means is that you want to basically beats where nothing occurs, i.e. I don't do damage to them and they don't do damage to me, is often in the favor of 7. Something like absorption basically creates a dead beat, and while you're absorbing, you're also upgrading your style so you can pay off the turn after. So right now I am going to play absorption, and I'm going to play absorption with, I think, Undaunted. And the idea here is I want to position well. So if I take damage, I can actually position myself into the corner. Also, either orange or red is the style you want to level up. I really like having orange against characters that are going to be faster than me, which I think as Riflam levels up his styles, he will be. So yeah, we're gonna go. So yeah, so if they're faster, I prefer to have orange. If they're slower, I prefer to have red to trade. If they're faster and hit hard, orange can be pretty dangerous to play. And that's actually the kind of push and pull with 7. 7 is a character that wants to trade blows. She has a lot of stun guard. She has absorption that you take damage and then you power up the next turn. You have a lot of ability to trade blows, but if you trade too aggressively, you get really far behind on life, which means you want to trade blows when you're getting the most ahead. So typically this means you want to trade after you play absorption. You want to trade if you're playing blue, where you have soak 2. You want to trade maybe perhaps after a upgraded Colt, heated, where they have -2 power. You essentially want to trade when you can get ahead, and when you're not getting ahead, you usually just try to kind of buy time, cause deadbeats, and slow the game down so that you can get into that advantageous position where trading is in your favor. And I'm going to take 4. I'm going to probably advance into the corner so he can't dodge me next beat. Yeah. I'm going to advance all the way to the corner. Yeah, so in the corner he can't dodge me. And I will be able to hopefully connect with a shot next beat while he can't dodge me. Now he could get a distance from me, but I think if he gets a distance from me, he will not be able to hit me, which I'm fine with. Hopefully my opponent actually moves towards the center of the board, which he does. And this is great. And so this is an example, now that I have absorption ready, and I have my +2 power, this is a beat I want to trade. Even in the worst case scenario when I'm trading here, I will almost certainly win the beat, i.e. I will deal more damage to them than they will deal to me. I'm going to play Cold Shot. It gives me the most board coverage. He could play Alchemaic Shot, which means he could hit and run. Dodge would run away. Burst would be out of range. So Alchemaic Shot is actually the thing I'm worried about. If I think he's going to do Alchemaic Shot, then I think I should drive. So Alchemaic Shot I can beat with drive. If he doesn't do Alchemaic, he'll be in range of my drive. Yeah, so I'm going to do Cold Drive. In addition, I'm going to anti-stun guard this beat. Because if he does do a tradie style, I hope that stun guard should be enough. He could do something super scary, substantial. like substantial shot, but even substantial shot is only going to hit for 5 at max. And this is another important thing with using your force gauge is you want to understand, you use the force gauge for the worst case scenario. So, for example, his worst case scenario is +1 power on his styles, and he doesn't have his power reagent, which means he can only get +1. So worst case scenario, he can hit me for 4. If he antis power, it's 5. So by anteing the 2 stun guard, I have stun guard 5. It can beat his worst case scenario. Yeah, I think he's playing Alchemaic. If he's playing Alchemaic shot, I'm gonna anti-priority here to outspeed it. If he plays Alchemaic anything else, I don't think he'll have the range to get me. So I think I can outspeed his Alchemaic shot here. If I would have done the obvious moves, which would have been cold shot, he'd be able to hit me and then run away. Oh, this is interesting. So he's anti-ing range, so he could be doing something like Alchemaic Grasp, which would not be, which I think would beat me this beat. It definitely would outspeed me, and it would have the range. So we'll see. It would be forced to pull me towards him, so it might not work out. We'll see here. Oh, Alchemaic Burst. Dang. He's going to be outside of my range, so I'm not going to be able to get to him here. He's going to retreat, hit me, and then retreat some more. Yeah. No, that's too bad. Yeah, and that's actually, you know, honestly speaking, it's not too bad. He had to use his range token, which is one of his better tokens, and he uses it on range attack, which is good, but it's actually best to use your range token on something like Drive or Strike to give range to something that doesn't normally have range. Now, this isn't always true with Riflam. A lot of his reagents, you actually want to enhance what you already do well. You want to give power to Strike. You want to give priority to Grasp or Drive, something that's already fast. But the range token you typically want to use on something that doesn't already have range, which makes it a little bit different than his other tokens. And typically his range token is one of his more important tokens. I like to get multiple uses out of range, typically with something like Experimental, so that you can get range on as many attacks as possible. Riflam, one of Riflam's greatest strengths is his high level of hit confirm. All of his styles have 0 to 1, and then if you combine it with his ability to add range to your attacks, it allows you to have hit confirm with many attacks. You could be in the middle and have a 1 to 3 strike. You can have a drive with plus 0 to 1 range, so it's a 1 to 2 drive, so you have just a huge amount of hit confirm. At this point, my opponent is going slow. His hit confirm on his styles is very limited. It's just 0 to 1. So he could do something like Drive or Shot. Drive or Shot, which both hit for 3. So the most he can hit right now is 4 with Drive or Shot. I could do Sympathetic Strike. This will allow me to close to Drive or Shot. I'll be able to be in within range. So I'm going to do Sympathetic Strike here. This will be within range, and both Drive and Shot only hit for at most 4 with anti-ing 5. So I will hopefully win this beat straight out. I'm gonna hold on to my force gauge because I want to have my force gauge if we get into a force gauge war where he goes priority and I want to be faster and I need my force to anti-priority back. It might be the case with this -1 that we might get in a clash war. We'll have to see how that goes. If we do clash, I do have Shot that I could play afterwards, or even Burst, I think. Yeah, even Burst I could play afterwards, which will allow me to hit him at this range. shot. Okay, well this is fine. He's actually slower than me. Anti-aim power would not have stunned him, so it's not important at this point. I am going to close 2, and because of my soak 2, I will win this beat. I'm hitting for 4, and he's going to be hitting for 2. He'll be able to put either additional priority or additional stun guard on the shot, which honestly isn't that important. Shot right now has plenty of stun guard, and making shot faster, although eventually could be good, takes a long time to be good because shot is so slow. Experimental is really good to be using early when you have lots of options to get additional power or additional range or additional priority on moves that need it. Yeah, so we just take 2 here, which isn't too bad. Okay, so now comes the interesting bit. So, so his dodge is available, and I have absorption. So, absorption is an ability you want to use when their dodge is down. Typically, they play dodge, you go absorption payoff. It's also one of your best defensive styles, so you can play absorption and you don't take that much damage. So the question is, do I want to wait for his dodge? Or do I want to push it by going absorption now and forcing him to either dodge me or get hit off pretty hard next turn? And to note, I have reserved here, and I have terrified here. So I think what I'm going to do is I'm going to absorption this beat. And I'm going to absorption with remote. This means that he might miss. I gain life, but if he does hit, I'll upgrade remote, which is great. And then being at range, I think I'll be able to play terrified shot, and he will not be able to push me because I'll be at such range that his grasp will not be able to reach me. We will see. In addition, I'll be at such range that his dodge, he won't be able to dodge me. So by getting at range 3 from him, I can prevent him from dodging on the beat after I absorb, which is very, very useful. And even if, you know, I might just get a point where he doesn't hit me, I just gain 2 life, that's fine. We'll be even at life. Best case scenario, he hits me for a small amount of life, like 2 or 3, and I only take 1 or 0 damage, and then I'll be able to get 3 away from him. He won't be able to dodge my payoff at speed. So, we will see how this goes. Hitting stun guard, which is interesting because the only time I would typically think you'd anti-stun guard was something like shock. You could also be anti it to put stun guard in something that doesn't have it, much like range, as I discussed earlier. Stun guard is an ability that you want to add to something that doesn't have it. Something like adding stun guard to grasp or adding stun guard to drive or burst. It allows that attack to have more options. But yeah, I have no idea what the attack barrier is. I'm glad that he's anti-aim power because since I have absorption, I can't take too much damage anyway this turn. My one worry with him anti-stun guard is he might be going slow, but hopefully not this slow. We'll see. Hopefully we won't clash here. We will not clash, and he will miss here. He's going to be able to move 1, which means he'll be able to be within range to dodge me next beat. So it's going to be a tricky call here. So because he's within range here, if he moves 1, which I assume he's going to, next beat could go one of 2 ways. I could either play reserve. Reserve makes it so your opponent can't move next to you, which means it just cancels a dodge completely. So you could do something like reserve shot, get board coverage, and he can't dodge me. I don't actually have the absorption, additional damage or absorption, so I'm not really forced to try to pay off this beat, which I feel that's kind of a beat force. So what I'm going to do instead, I'm going to do heated shot, and the reason I'm going to do this is that if he does hit me, again, it's going to kind of put him in a weird, awkward position where he has -2 power, where he's going to want to dodge again. So maybe I want to do, yeah, I'm going to do heated drive here. Yeah, heated drive, anti stun guard. Let's see how much damage he can deal. Oh man, that strike. That strike. Does he have enough range with that strike? I don't think he does. So he doesn't have the range with the strike, even though that strike hits for a bazillion. He doesn't have range with it. Yeah, so his attacks that he has range with are only going to hit for like 3. So anti-stun guard should be plenty to protect me here. And then I hope here is that I'll be able to do a trade this beat. Again, because I'll have -2 power, he'll be forced to make a decision if he wants to dodge or not. And if I can catch his dodge with reserve, I can hopefully get a free beat. Or if he tries to go for the win next beat, playing his like super buffed strike, I can play Terrified and just pay off. I'm gonna anti-stun guard here. Yeah, because I think the most he could hit me for is 5. Yeah, the most he could hit me for is 5. And I have stun guard 5. Unless he does strike, but if he strike, he's either going to go too fast and miss me or be slow. So I'm okay not anti-ing anything else and having a force advantage. This means he's probably not dodging, which is good because I didn't play my reserve. But we'll see what's happening. Substantial drive. So he is substantial driving. That is only going to hit me for 5, and I'm going to be able to hit back for 7, which is a ton. So as you can see, looking at his styles and his attacks, this is really where you use your force gauge. I knew that the most he could hit me for was 5. So by using my force gauge smartly, I prevented even the worst case scenario from knocking me out. And this is a fine balance with the force gauge, because you don't always have to do that, but you can use the force gauge to account for those worst case scenarios. Yeah, cool. So I'm going to hit back for 7. And actually, do I want to be? Nah, I'll stay up close. Getting a 1 distance away from Riflam really is the same as being right next to him, because almost all of his styles have 0 to 1 range. So being 1 away is basically the same as being right next to him. So I just want to be right next to him because it's in my best interest to be next to him, and being 1 away just limits my options and doesn't really limit his. Alright, so we're in an interesting position again, because with his minus power, he could be forced to dodge. And if he dodges, I could do like reserved shot, and although it's not the win, it's nearly so. If he goes for, he might go for the kill here, because his strike hits for literally a million. So I guess this is an example of, I want to beat, well no, 7, 8 minus 2 is only 6, so he can't technically kill me with this strike right now. Even 8, 9, 10, no, he could with this. Experimental strike could kill me. Yeah, experimental strike could kill me. I think I want to try to beat the thing that can kill me. So I'm going to dodge. Yeah. This is a, you know, often when I'm trying to figure out attacks, this is a thing that happens a lot, where you could say, well, you can play this or you can play that, but often you want to plan for the things that kill you instead of the things that don't. That sounds kind of silly, but a lot of times it'll be in a position where your opponent is like, well, they could do their finisher, they could do a normal attack here. But often when you look at it, you go, oh, but if they did the finisher, I'd just be dead. So it depends on the play style of your opponent and board position, all that thing. But often for me, I plan for the worst case scenario and assume that my opponent will get greedy and try to kill me. So like this bee, if he antis power, he's getting greedy and trying to kill me. He didn't get too greedy, but close. He did do transformative strike, so his strike is hitting for 9 now, because that's reasonable. Yeah, I'm gonna dodge him, so that worked in my favor, and he will miss me. So now we're in a position where he still hasn't played dodge his whole game. So I could play absorption this next beat to set up for a payoff, or I could just play orange. And the reason I could play orange here is if he tries to hit me at all at this point, I think I just kill him. Let's see. I think what is my opponent going to do here? What is he going to do? He's invested a lot in that strike. His install doesn't have a lot of additional power, grass, and so everything is kind of hitting for 3 right now. So it's not too much damage. He could effectively hit me for 4. At worst case, 4 plus 2 is 6, which is a kill. So we're gonna go Terrified Shot here, and we're gonna anti-power. Alright, we're gonna go Terrified Shot and anti-power. I assume my opponent's going to go fast here. We will see. I hope my opponent goes fast here. Actually, that's the problem with Terrified Shot. I should have looked closer, because if my opponent goes to outslow me, then Terrified Shot will not work this beat. We will see though. I'm going to anti-power this beat. I don't need an anti-stun guard or priority because I want to be slow and I have stun immunity, so I'm just going to anti-power. If he dodges me here, I'm actually okay with that because, again, you kind of want to play for your no beats with 7. And again, if he dodges me here, I'll just go into absorption payoff, and I can probably win that way. So this is an attack that, if he goes faster than me, will probably just kill him. Terrified is super powerful if you can underspeed your opponent. Basically, yeah, it's a really good payoff. Install residual. So residual is -1 speed. He could burst here or dodge. Burst or dodge. I don't have drive. I could burst as well. Which means worst case we tie here. No, I'm slower. Oh, this is no, this is not gonna work because he's gonna be able to burst back 2. Oh, dang it, his burst is such range. Yeah, he's gonna be able to outrange me here. Dang. Okay. Yeah, the problem here is my burst only has a 2 to 3 range, which means I'm gonna miss and he's not. Dang. Dang. Oh man. This is a classic example of Riflam. His styles, because they have different stats, I didn't account for it. I didn't think that his burst, that additional range is getting me good. Could I have done something else there? I could have absorption, I guess, but that's not really the best move here. Yeah. Goodness. Hmm. So, what do I want to do here? I think I am gonna absorption XP. Problem is, wow, that strike is coming. That drive is coming. We're getting in a pretty difficult position with 7 here because um, my life is getting low, which means speed is really important, and I'm going to be very slow. I'm going to absorption sympathetic. My hope is that between the soak of sympathetic, I should hopefully gain more life than I take this turn. And by taking the attack with absorption, I'll be able to get ahead here. I mean, sorry, I'll be able to set up for the next beat's attack. You know, yeah. I could have done heated as well, which reduces their power on the next beat, which might have been even better. Giving myself absorption and heated really incentivizes your opponent to dodge normally, but my opponent has this crazy ridiculous strike, so the difference in power really doesn't matter because his strike just auto kills me. That thing is insane. Yeah. So hopefully this will be a beat where I'll be able to get ahead in life. But we'll see. Alright, so he is going to hit me for 1, I'm going to gain 2. That's great. That's going to put me ahead in life. Awesome, and I can get board center. Yeah, this is going to work out really well. Holy cow, so the thing that's scary here is his strike. That strike. That strike. So, I guess worst case scenario, that strike can have speed. Jeez, 4, 5, 6, 7. Holy cow, that strike. 7 speed strike. That insta kills me. Will it have the range though? What is the range? Is only 1 on the strike. So he will have limited range options with that strike. But my burst is down. Yuck. Man. Oh, he's gaining life. Interesting. So he won't have the priority reagent to up his speed on the strike. Alright, well, gain 2, and now I hit like a truck next turn. So, let's check out the strike. So, worst case scenario on the strike, it's only 1 to 2 range, but it's got 4, potentially 6 speed. Potentially 6. But if it's 6, it's at range 1. 4 for any other range. Yeah, 4 or worse for any other range. So I could do a remote, which will get me outside of the range of it, because it's only 1 to 2. Which means I'm probably going to remote. Like I said, the fastest could be 6. So yeah, we're going to remote, I guess remote grasp. Yeah, we're going to remote grasp. I have the additional power from my absorption, and the hope is here I'll be able to hop out of distance and then push him back so that I'll be out of range of most of his attacks. We'll see if he goes for the strike kill. He might not. I don't know. I'm not really worried about fast because he doesn't have a range to get to the remote. He doesn't have drive right now, so remote should be safe. He could dodge me here. He hasn't all game, but he definitely could. Oh, he dodged me. Okay, that's fine. Oh no, we're clashing. Dodge. Oh. Well, that means he's probably gonna shot me. 4-speed shot. That's scary. Yes, we go strike. Yeah, I guess we go strike. So if he shots me, that's got range on me. Pretty much everything else will be outside of range. Yeah. Oh no, Substantial's gonna get him. He's only gonna hit me for 4, and I'm gonna hit him for 8. Oh no. Wow, that was very unexpected. I didn't figure I was gonna clash him there. And oh my gosh, yeah. That beat where I gained the 2 life with the substantial absorption was enough to keep it so he couldn't kill me this beat. And even with the 2 life that he gained, the +2 from absorption, the +2 for substantial is going to be enough to finish him off. Wow. Wow, what a turn of events. Well, really good game, Kai. Kaya? I don't know. Thank you very much. It was an excellent game. It was really cool, and yeah, very good game, and very good play of Riflam. Very good play. Riflam is a very, very challenging character to play, so yeah, that was fantastic. I hope you enjoyed watching as much as I enjoyed playing it. Have a good evening, everybody.